We've had a tradition in our family that when our grandsons were 13, they got to come stay with us, without parents or siblings, for a week. They all loved to cook and spend time with me in the kitchen. When Nick was 13, we made bagels, and we called them Casa bagels. He is now 25 and still remembers the joy of baking bagels, and recently sent me the recipe we used. I have tweaked it a bit, but this is our basic Casa bagel recipe. There's nothing easier than making homemade bagels. You'll start with 4 cups of white flour, 1 tablespoon of dry yeast, 1 tablespoon of barley malt syrup, 2 teaspoons of coarse salt, 1½ cups of warm water, and an egg wash. You'll start by proofing your yeast. You'll start with your barley malt syrup. Barley malt syrup is a very thick and sticky sweetener that comes from processed barley sprouts. You're going to start by adding ½ cup of very warm water. If you don't have barley malt syrup, a good substitute is honey, molasses, or even brown sugar. Once you're dissolved, sprinkle your yeast over the top and walk away for about 5 minutes until it blooms. As you can see, our yeast is beautifully bloomed, so it's time to start making our dough. 2 teaspoons of salt into our flour. Just mix it a little bit. And now add your yeast. And remember to scrape out the bottom. Stir it around. And now start adding about a cup of water to the yeast. Our dough has formed into a lovely smooth ball, which I will now transfer into a prepared bowl, which I will then cover with plastic, and it will rise for an hour and a half. Our dough has risen for about an hour and a half. I've punched down our dough and I'm turning it onto a floured breadboard. After it's rested for a few minutes, just give it a light flouring and flip it around. We want to divide this now in half. We're going to shape it into bagels. I'm honestly not sure how many. I think I'm going to do 6 really big bagels. So I'm just forming each of our pieces of dough into a ball. These are going to be very large bagels, but that's what I want. Forming a bagel is very easy. You just pick up your dough, make a ball, put your thumbs in the middle, bring your fingers through, and just open up the hole in the middle and then place it on the baking tray. Our bagels have been formed and are resting, and I'm bringing about 3 quarts of water to a boil on the stove. I've added about 2 tablespoons of barley malt syrup to the water and preheated our oven to 425 degrees. Drop your bagels into your boiling water. You need to boil about a minute on each side. Take them out and transfer them back onto the baking sheet. These are really huge bagels. I made up a basic egg wash, which is a whole egg, to which I've added 1 teaspoon of water. And now, before these are baked, I'm just giving them all a good coating with the egg wash. This will help to make them brown and golden in the shiny surface. Our beautiful bagels are out of the oven, and they need to sit on the baking tray for 20 minutes before they could be served. Bagels are really quite easy to make. Like all things, they do take time, but time well spent. This is a fun kitchen project for the kids, and who doesn't like a bagel? Extra special because you made them yourself.